Personally, I felt attacked. I had met with them several times. I had gave them plenty of opportunity to talk to me privately. Not one of them reached out to me.
Fresno City Council candidate 41-year-old Renee Campos, a registered sex offender, responding to Thursday's uproar from council members.
We have a registered sex offender that is currently running for Fresno City Council. While I respect anybody's ability to serve our community, I find this quite disturbing.
I did hear some of the concerns of a potential future or former Epstein type candidate coming to this dais. Any given Thursday, we have kids in this room. We have families.
Campos is registered on the California Megan's Law website. It's because he was arrested in 2018 after a cyber tip was sent to the local Internet Crimes Against Children task force.
We went to this home in Fresno. There we contacted Campos, and we were able to determine that he had been downloading and sharing child sexual abuse material.
The sheriff's office says he spent nearly a month in the Fresno County Jail after he pleaded no contest to a sole misdemeanor charge of possessing and controlling child pornography.
Crazy thing is, he actually held a press conference adjacent to a school, but that's coming up.
Now, several members of the Fresno City Council announcing they're working on legislation to bar him and other sex offenders from running.
This isn't about one person. It's not about an election. It's not about a race. It's not about politics. This is about keeping City Hall a safe, free, participating home for all of the residents of Fresno.
Well, Campos believes that action would go against the Constitution and that he has a right to run and has been accountable since the beginning.
I am no danger to no one. I put everything out there, every detail I can to make people feel that I have been transparent every single way.
Now, if you go to his website, he makes no mention of him being a convicted sex offender. And I find that most of these guys who do this or find themselves with that title, they are misleading. And he's going to be even more misleading when we get to him having a press conference near a school and people start asking him, like, what rules does he have to abide by?
Nobody does this in government. Nobody comes out and says from the very beginning, hey, I f***ed up. Personally, I felt attacked.
Let's go to his response, basically, to the legislation that they are trying to pass to block not just him from running for office, but to others. Now, this is a prepared statement by Renee Campos.
Hello, my name is Renee Campos. I'm a candidate for District 7. Today I've called this conference. Today it's not about one man. Today it's about the Constitution. The First Amendment does not belong to the comfortable. The Equal Protection Clause does not apply to only the popular. And the right to seek public office does not depend on whether these in power approve you. When government officials publicly discuss how to block a single candidate from appearing before voters, that's not policy debate.
Well, it's not just him. This would apply to all sex offenders running for a seat in Fresno City. And to be honest, I'm on board for it. If this was on my ballot, yes, I agree. Because what's going to happen and what people can probably conclude is they could use their position to be around children, where if they didn't have that position, maybe they wouldn't even be in a child's vicinity. So you have that. Are they using the position to circumvent, I guess, the laws that are used to govern them?
This is institutional overreach. The Constitution does not grant government the authority to pre-select who is worthy of the democracy. Voters decide, not councils, not rhetoric, not fear. If the standard becomes, we are uncomfortable, then rights become conditional. And unconditional rights are not rights at all. I have accepted responsibility for my past. I've completed every requirement of the court. I've imposed the law as spoken. The sentence was served. In America, rehabilitation is not a slogan. It is a legal principle.
Do you guys think he has been rehabilitated? For me, if someone was caught with having possession of CSAM and sharing it, I think having a conference near an active elementary school is optically bad. The last thing as a father, I want to do is go pick up my daughter from school and see a convicted sex offender in close proximity of the school talking about how they are rehabilitated.
So the question is not whether I make people uncomfortable. The question is whether our institutions respect the rule of law when it is convenient and inconvenient. Democracy is the strongest when it trusts its voters. If we abandon that principle, we abandon the foundation of this republic. The election belongs to the people of District 7 and no one else.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think this guy has a shot in hell at getting elected in Fresno City. So this whole plea, hey, let's go for the voters. How many people are like, yes, I'm going to vote for this guy, unless they too are a convicted sex offender? But as we keep going, here is the conference that was held at a school. New child sex offender running for city council held a press conference outside an elementary school prompting the school to file a police report. The 41-year-old Renee Campos decided to hold a press conference feet away from Big Picture Elementary School. We know he was caught in 2018 for having CSAM and being put on the list. Let's hear what he has to say, because this is just him, for the most part, talking off the cuff.
Is there a reason you chose this location to do this announcement?
I feel the city of Fresno, there are certain areas that represent rehabilitation, people. This church has been here for hundreds of years. Forgiveness isn't something that is just given to you. It is not handed. You earn it day by day, minute by minute. That's what I'm doing. I'm not asking, I'm not demanding. I'm saying, grow with me, trust me.
Trust me, bro. I'm rehabilitated. Yes, I know I got caught with CSAM. And yes, I know I'm at this church that's very close to a school where even if I wasn't rehabilitated, maybe I could sneak a look or not. But yeah, trust me, bro. I'm rehabilitated. No.
They chose to go on the news and say, I don't belong here. I don't belong in this race. What type of person doesn't belong here? Today, I don't belong. Tomorrow, they don't belong. So what are we saying? Does the Constitution matter anymore? The laws they're pushing on us, they want us to believe in them. You want us to follow them. You follow them. I've been accountable. Let's hold them accountable.
Look, I think by and large, everyone watching probably agrees, unless you're a sex offender, that sex offenders should not be in office. I don't care, Democrat, Republican, sex offender, get them out of here. Especially if the position has the chance or opportunity to interact with kids. If he, let's just say on the odd chance he was elected, if someone is coming to his office with a kid, is there going to be some type of notification? Hey, by the way, you may not know this, but such and such is a convicted sex offender for having CSAM.
Lead by example. There is another issue that I'd like to address. There is something that has publicly been said. How would I address the issue of schools? I've never said I would go to schools. Over the last few days, mothers have reached out to me, angry. I didn't silence them. I talked with them. They said, how could a person like you help? I listened, and I said, I can't fix everything.
Even God is like, wrap it up. But at the same time, well, how can you impact the youth if you can't go to schools? How can you be good at your position if you can't go into a school to see what maybe the teachers want? Or you have to go in after hours, or maybe, I'm not sure the conditions of his sentence, maybe he's never allowed to go to a school.
And I'm not going to promise you the world, but I can give you the advice I learned. That's the best I can do.
Does the conditions of your sentence prevent you from being a certain distance from schools?
There are certain California restrictions people must follow within the law, and I follow the law to the letter.
Here's the thing. When he says he followed the law to the letter, does the law say, hey, you have to be 90 feet away from a school at all times? And he's at like 91 feet. See, this is where I say it's a little misleading. Maybe he is omitting how the actual distance in which he could be close to a school. That would be something I would love to know. Because if he says he has to be, let's just say 100 feet from a school, and he's like, well, I'm 101 feet. So I'm within the laws.
Can you share some of those restrictions after rehabilitation? Is there any set in place?
As of right now, it's the basic restrictions of California law.
See, look, it's just so vague. It's the basic restrictions of California law. She wants to know, hey, can you share the specifics of what laws you as a candidate has to abide by, and he won't give the specifics. He said, "Oh, it's just the basic restrictions." Hopefully, someone asks a follow up. Can you explain what the basic restrictions are? Because as a registered sex offender, you better believe he knows every word character in those basic restrictions. Because if he doesn't, then he could potentially put himself right back in jail.
You know some of them. Can you share that with us?
It's going to be the California laws that are restricted to that penal code.
There's an elementary school right there. Is that would that be against the rules?
I would say during operational hours, absolutely. I believe they are closed right now. I don't see anyone, and I understand the issue. However, I called it here because I felt this place was important. We can't say this person is that person. I have rehabilitated, and people can't keep saying, I'm afraid of him. If you keep saying that, you don't believe in rehabilitation. You don't believe in what you're voting for.
Bro, just literally admit it. Like, yeah, he can't be, if the school was, as he perceived, open, he couldn't have his press conference there. That is a huge admission right there. So you mean to tell me you have to wait till the school closes to come to, say, a church? Why this church? Why not a church that's away from schools? And the reporters were right. Hey, there's a school right there. Can you be here? Well, it's closed right now. So, yeah. So they're actually trying to pass legislation to get him out of here. And a lot of people seems to be on board. And it's not like some fake thing. It is a real thing. And let's hear her talk about it.
Several of my colleagues share similar feelings, and so I look forward to working with them to bring forth legislation to limit somebody's ability to serve publicly if they do carry that badge on them.
Action News spoke to Fresno County Clerk and Registrar of Voters, James Coos. He says state law does not prevent a registered sex offender from running for office. Campos has not yet filed for his candidacy, but has until March 6th to submit his paperwork.
I mean, he could probably submit his paperwork, but at the same time, I really don't think it's going to go anywhere because there's literally so much opposition against him. And the legislation is very real. If I'm not mistaken, it already in a roundabout way has gained bipartisan support. Here it is right here, where you can see Legislative Council Digest, I guess, introduced the assembly on February 20th. So this is 100% likely going to go through.
Registered sex offenders from running or holding any local or state office.
I don't think that it gets any more egregious when you are convicted of a sex crime dealing with kids. I believe that we should have zero tolerance when it comes to protecting our children.
Soria tells me her proposal has already gained bipartisan support, but one nonprofit, the Alliance for Constitutional Sex Offense Laws, is calling the move unconstitutional.
Look, man, I'm not here for that. If you're a convicted sex offender, I don't want you running for office. I don't want you around kids. But what do you know? What do you think? Let me know in the comments section. Make sure you like the video, hype the video, share it with a friend. Make sure this guy does not get elected. Protect your kids in your community at all costs.